What's happening, guys? YouTube finally made it here. It's been a very long time coming. I've spoken about it on my socials and it took my time. This is not the first car I wanted on this channel. I wanted my green HSV VY Club Sport Turbo LS build to be the first thing on this channel, and if you don't know about that, head over to my socials if you're not following them and you're new here. My Instagram and my TikTok have plenty of content on that. It is getting turbo stuff done at the minute, so it's not here, and I did want it to be the first car, but you know what, I took the leap of faith. You guys wanted to see me start my YouTube, so we're starting with the new purchase here. But before we get into that, if you don't know me, my name is Mitchell Gambin. I'm 25 years old, and obviously I run GAMBIN.BUILDS. Love building cars. I'm a mechanic by trade, so hence all the cars and modifying all the cars that I own. And yeah, I do have a chronic car addiction. If you guys have followed me for a while, you will know that I have owned 25 cars now, and this year I've had 4 different cars. So a bit of an addiction. Is it stupid? A little bit. Am I financially smart about it? Yes and no. I do study what I'm buying before I buy it, and I won't buy it unless I'm getting it for cheap and I'm making money, or I'm getting my money back. That's the way I roll. It's the way I've rolled with the last 25 cars. I started that from day dot, and it's done me well. It's never let me down, and we're just going to run with it and hope and pray that we keep this flow going, because it's very good on the bank. They're not taking any serious hits. When they do, it comes back to me, and a little bit of profit on top, which is absolutely lovely. So this YouTube channel, what are you guys going to see? You're going to pretty much get everything now. TikTok, I'm not going to focus on as much. Instagram, definitely going to focus on, but I want to give you guys the build series on the VY Club Sport more in depth, a bit longer, so you guys, you know, don't get everything crammed into 3 minutes and me doing voiceovers and stuff. I can teach you a few things. I can mutter along. You know, I consider myself a little bit funny, so you might have a laugh here or two, and you might learn a thing or two, which is pretty much the aim of the game. I want everyone to kind of see what it's really like doing this stuff, because some people don't really have a conception of what it takes to build a car and whatnot. I think it's just as simple as pulling stuff off and putting stuff on and it just working. It's not the case. Sometimes it is, most times it's not. But I'm going to show you guys that here, which I'm really excited about. We're going to have the VY Club Sport build. We're going to have this build, which I will get into at the end and tell you what we are doing to it. And whatever else comes along the way. You never know with me. I might rock up one day with a Skyline, or rock up one day with an Evo, or a freaking Daihatsu midget. You never know with me. It is just a special thing that I do, and as much as it excites me, I hope it excites you guys as well. This car right here, let's get into it. This is my most recent purchase. This is a 2012 Ford Falcon FG Mark II XR6 Turbo. That is very long. Limited edition. I didn't even add that. To me, limited edition, big whoop, but if you're a Ford enthusiast, you know, might be a little bit crazy, but I do prefer the limited edition over the standard XR6 because it comes with the black and carbon interior bits, these wheels, which are absolutely gorgeous in my opinion, and the leather interior, which is actually in really good condition, but I'll show you all through that and all the flaws on the car. Mod-wise done to it, it doesn't have much at all. As you can see, the body is very well stock, and it is going to stay that way because this is going to be a sleeper build, and it is called Nannu, which is Maltese for grandpa. So it's grandpa spec. 4-inch dump, 3.5-inch full X-Force exhaust, still has a cat, still has a resonator, still has a muffler there, so it isn't too loud, and an Ants intercooler piping kit with a standard intercooler. And it's tuned to 335 kilowatts at the wheels, which I don't believe. My butt dyno tells me otherwise, but we are going to be taking it to the dyno, doing that, retuning it, doing a few things as well, which I'll go over very shortly. But other than that, it is pretty well standard performance wise. And yeah, I'm gonna grab the camera now, show you guys around. You guys can see the floors, so I'm not hiding any nasty things or whatever. And yeah, let's get into it. Walking around the car, we'll start at the front. The front bar paint is actually in pretty decent condition. The headlights, as you can see through that little gap there, they're actually very clean. But once I change this intercooler, I will be pretty much giving it a clean, sanding it down, polishing it and re-clearing them, because they will actually come up immaculate. Same as the little fog lights there. But the paint otherwise, it's not bad. Bonnet, pretty good condition. Just has that little cloudiness in it. As you can probably see in this camera, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it does have that also on the front guards and the roof itself and the rear quarters little. Typical Ford stuff. I got some RE003s up front. Yeah, alright, a little bit overrated those tyres. As most people would probably know, they want a big hype. Mirrors need yeah, a little bit of a detail. It is getting a detail from my friend Nannu at the end of this week actually. So it'll come up nice and smick. Limited edition wheels. Bit of gutter rash on all of them, but you know, what do? You get that. But on the rear end, she's actually fairly clean. Like, no major scratches on this car, no major dents. There's one or two dents. And that's pretty much really it. If we come onto the inside, if you saw on my Instagram, I did do the tints. They're looking all nice and fresh because yeah, they weren't very nice and fresh. But this cockpit in here, excuse it, because yeah, not very clean. Bit of carbon fibre, bit more carbon fibre. The black fascia there and the black in the centre looks much better than the silver on the regular XR6. Leather seats, and they're actually in pretty good condition for 200,000 Ks. As you can see here, they're not bad. They're actually not ripped anywhere. There's a little something there, but that's just the SRS little emblem. Let's go to the bonnet. Let's pop this. Now I do have the heat shields off at the moment because there is a bolt back here that I need to change. Just got to get underneath and get to those bolts. But if we're doing what we're doing, what I'm going to say after this what we're doing, you'll understand why I haven't done it yet. Change the master cylinder, change the overflow. It's got the Ants intake kit. That will be getting changed as well, because I'll chuck in a photo now of what I saw on the inside when I was changing these clamps the other day. So I haven't really been driving it, but yeah, no good. There's bits and chunks missing. They're probably sitting in the bottom of the intercooler, but if that passes through and then goes into the intake, we're going to be munching valves, and that's something I don't want to do. So just not driving it at the minute. But yes, has the upgraded turbo with a 12 billet blade in it, I'm pretty sure from memory, and a catch can. I'm not sure if it's aeroflow, but it has an aeroflow filter. Could be wrong. And battery relocation, just your standard stuff. That's pretty much it. That was an overview of the car there. I did write a little list on my Instagram. It's probably a bit hard to see because it's not flipped, but I did write overview, rundown of the car and its flaws. That's pretty much its flaws. Doesn't have a whole heap wrong with it. It's really just cosmetic stuff and the things I want to do with it. Non-biased opinion. Now that I own both Holden and Ford, I feel like I do have a say in this. And look, they are both very similar but very different at the same time. Ford obviously made the better 6, Holden made the better 8. There's no arguing that. If you think there's an argument with that, go get yourself checked. Pretty much it. Look, I honestly, I think each their own. I don't think people should hang it on the other car. Fords, you know, they have all their bushes problems and stuff like that. Like you'll find if you look at a Ford, you'll need to replace every bush, diff bushes, sway bars, lower control arms, you name it. everything. That's pretty much what I'm going through right now. But I really can't hang it on these cars. They actually have so much potential. The Barra is just absolutely something else. For the amount of money you spend to what you get, power-wise, is just absolutely mind-boggling. My Club Sport, it set me back a fair bit just to make 300 kilowatt. Yes, it made a whole lot more torque, and it was a whole lot more fun to drive than what this is, because it is supposedly 335 kilowatt, which I don't believe, but like I said, we're going to find out. I honestly, bang for buck, think that this is the better car in modifying. You know, I'm a Holden guy, so there's no arguing that. That's me not being biased or anything like that. So there you go. Now, why did I buy this car? Low key, secretly, I've always wanted an XR6 Turbo. That is something I've always wanted. It's always been on my list. If you guys follow my Instagram and my TikTok, you guys would have seen that I've had 26 or 25 cars now, and I'm 25 years old. So I started in cars when I was 14. My first car was an S13 Silvia. I've had, you know, Silvias, Skylines, Integra Type Rs, bit of everything. Literally, I'm not just been a Holden fanboy since day one. I've always liked Holdens, but I didn't start getting Holdens until 3 years ago. So I haven't been, you know, hugely involved in that, but I've always had one of these on my list because, I don't know, something about them, they do look good, and they obviously go good and bang for buck. Man, if I had started off with these cars, I would be much well off, let's just say that. But that's fine. I love my Holdens, love my Club Sport. That thing's getting built. It's going to be here soon on this channel, so get keen for that. But you know, I've been hanging out with Nick from Blakehurst Automotive Heaps, been going to his before work, been learning to build my old LS and now Barras as well. So I've been heavily influenced by that, and that was that little push, I think, to get me into one of these. But you know, I have a bit of spare time with the Club Sport, being away getting the turbo side of things done, and a bit of money. So I was just like, you know what, if I can afford to have both, why not? It's getting a little bit, you know, a little bit down in the dumps because I didn't have cool car or fast car to cure my boredom, so went out and got this, and obviously can't help myself. So now we're going to get into modifying it, and that brings us to what I'm going to do with this car right here. So pretty much, I said on my Instagram, this is Nannu, which means grandpa in Maltese, because obviously I'm Maltese. And half Aussie as well. Is probably why I sound like I'm bogan as all shit. This car is going to stay aesthetically standard looking. So I am going to lower the front a little bit so it matches the rear, clean the body up, and that is it. So the outside and the inside is staying clean. So we're doing a bit of a sleeper build because it is going to be making 500 kilowatts, which it's going to be quick. It's not going to be stupid fast like the Club Sport will be, but we're going to have some fun in this. We're going to do some testing and whatnot. So to get 500 kilowatts with these, you're going to be baffled. All it pretty much takes is injectors, fuel pump wiring, E85, head studs, head gasket, oil pump gears, turbo, exhausts, and intercooler kit. That's pretty much it. Once you tune that puppy on E85, you'll get around 500 kilowatts, which is absolutely insane. And if you price it up, or get it priced up, you're really not spending that much. The ZF6 will cop it, the converter will cop it, the diff will cop it, tail shaft will cop it, center bearing will probably go a few times, but how long for, I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery, but speaking to Nick, he is saying that it will cop it. So we're going to find out here. Basically, first up, because the intercooler piping is the way it is, changing the intercooler piping, going to tune it, run it up, see what it made standard, and then see what it makes now with the retune, take it to the track, come back, change the turbo, injectors, E85 tune, all that, tune it, take it back to the track, run some times, find out some time differences. You guys will be able to see what kilowatt will get you what sort of times if you're interested in that sort of stuff. So a little bit of an experimental project, and yeah, it really should be some good fun. I'm actually keen for this and keen to make content in it. I did actually, forgot to add, I did take it to the drag strip 2 days after I bought it. You would have seen it on my Instagram. If you're not following it, go follow it, and my TikTok. If you're not following it, go follow it. It ran a 1276 at 111 mile per hour, which is literally stock F6 times. Stock XR6 Turbo times, which is no good. For 335 kilowatts, my butt dyno says no, and those times say no as well. So we're definitely going to go back there, hit that 11-second mark, because I definitely think it will have it in it with the intercooler, the fuel pump, and a retune, because they're first on the list. So there's only one way to find out, and that's exactly what we are going to do here, guys. So thank you for watching. I've made it to YouTube, so hit that subscribe button, hit the post notification so you get notified when I do upload it, but I will be sharing it to my Instagram as well and have all the links there for you. I appreciate the love and support, and we'll catch you in the next one.